Hi everyone, it's time for chapters 7 and 8 in Playing Atari. Let's go. In Playing Atari with Saddam Hussein. We left off when they're back in Shirzad's bedroom, the safe room, and the last thing that Ali says is, I block my ears when the first explosion erupts. I send a mental message to the Americans. Stay away from us. Then I lie on my mat and wait for whatever is to come. All right, so now we are on chapter 7, and it says, this is now Friday, January 18th, 1991, day 3. Okay. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. God is the greatest, God is the greatest. Ashadu an la ilaha illallah. I bear witness that there is none worthy of worship but God. I wake to the call for prayer. It streams through the neighborhood 3 times a day, every day, from a loudspeaker at the Shiite mosque. Hayyalas Salah, come to prayer. Hayyalalal Falah, come to success. Usually I don't even notice the call. It fades into the background noise of my life. But this morning, I lie on my mat, half awake, and listen. We made it through another night. There was a lot less bombing nearby. The Americans must have been busy somewhere else. La ilaha illallah. There is no deity but God. My family is not religious. We are Christian, but we don't go to church. I have friends who are Muslims and Christians and atheists. I guess I don't believe in God, but what if I should? Which God should I pray to? Muhammad? Jesus Christ? Would it do me any good to pray for peace? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. And so another day begins. Everyone gets up and goes to their room to get dressed. Mama and Shireen put breakfast on the table. Day-old bread and wheat coffee. Shirzad turns on the radio and takes Father's customary seat at the head of the table. It bugs me that he's considered the man of the family now, but I don't plan to listen to him. He's not my father. The announcer is spouting off about our great leader and how we are destined for victory. No one says a word. My mother gets up and moves the dial, then sits back down. A different announcer is speaking. It's the Voice of America in Arabic. The Voice of America wants to reach non-English speakers with a point of view that's different from what our state-run stations air. This is a new kind of war, says the announcer. Gone are the days of newspaper reports hours, even days later. Thanks to modern technology, this war has become a group event. Families, restaurant goers, even college students gathering around the television. Not for a football game or a popular show, but for a war. It's crazy, says Katie Putnam, a college student at New York University. I thought we'd see soldiers and blood and stuff, but it looks, well, like a fireworks display. The Voice of America resumes. The bombing of Iraq is captured by night vision video cameras. The missiles show up as glowing dots of light, arcing against a background of greenish Iraqi skies. Some have dubbed this the video game war because that's what it looks like. My mother gets up and snaps off the radio. She is frowning. I meet my mother's eyes and shake my head as if to say, I can't believe it either. A video game? Our damage and deaths and daily terror look like a video game? Ugh. I finish my breakfast and leave the table, still hungry. Ali, Ahmed says, want to go treasure hunting? Nah, I say, not today. My brother frowns, then runs out of the room. He's going to scour the streets for spent shells or pieces of bombs. I go to my room and lie on my bed. I woke up not long ago, but already I feel as weary as if I'd put in a full day. I should be sort of happy. I mean, I could be going to school right now, dressed in my school uniform. White shirt, dark blue or gray pants, and a red cravat. Instead, I'm in a gray t-shirt and jeans with a hole in the knee. On a normal weekday, I'd be on my way to the middle school. My school is not in the best part of Basra. It's in the old city, which is crumbling and rough, more like an ancient city. I usually ride my bike to school, crossing the narrow part of the river on the pedestrian bridge that links our nice neighborhood in the ancestral town. Our day at school starts at 8 in the morning. We stand in group formations in the parking lot for 10 minutes while the school principal conducts our daily quiz. What is the bath party slogan? The principal shouts. In one voice, our entire school replies, "Unity, liberty, socialism." Next, the principal asks, "What are the Ba'ath Party's goals?" Us. "One Arabic nation with an immortal message." Then we march military style in a single line to our classrooms. Classes begin. We stay in the same classroom while the teachers rotate in and out. Classes last 45 minutes. My favorite, of course, is English. History is okay, although it focuses on Iraqi history. I would like to learn a lot more about the rest of the world. Math? Ugh. Science? Meh. Twice a week we have art class, where we draw themes of the Iraq-Iran war. Iraqi tanks, airplanes, soldiers killing the Iranian enemy. Art class might have been enjoyable if I had an ounce of artistic talent. I do not. Physical education is nothing more than a PE teacher handing us a football and having us play in an open space outside. I'm not a bad football player, but there are a few guys who are aggressive and prone to cheating behind the teacher's back. So my game focuses on staying out of their way. Our school is all boys. Back in grade school, the boys and girls were in the same class together, although we stayed on opposite sides of the room and weren't supposed to talk to each other. But middle school and high school are completely segregated. I miss glancing over at a cute girl. I wonder if the girls miss us. Probably not. Anyways, earlier this winter, President Bush gave Saddam's regime a January 15th deadline for withdrawing from Kuwait. In the weeks leading up to that day, no one could talk about anything but imminent war. Some kids said their families were leaving the city, going to stay with relatives who lived on farms. At the final bell on January 14th, though we were uncharacteristically quiet, we said goodbye to each other, shaking hands or giving high fives. I wonder when and if school will start again. I stay on my bed, my mind restless, my body not moving. That night, I toss and turn on my rug. The safe room feels anything but safe. My thoughts and heart race faster with every new sound I hear. What was that? A bomb? How close? Am I going to die? Boom! Ah! I yell, bolting straight up. In the dark, I hear Ahmed and Shireen giggling. "That was the bathroom door, dummy," says my sister. "Mom just went in." How was I supposed to know? I grumble. I do not like feeling so jumpy. There must be something I could do to stop feeling so scared. I lie back down and shut my eyes. Behind my eyelids, an image appears. A bucket? Suddenly I relax. I recognize that bucket. It's from my video game, Kaboom! My hand instinctively curves around an imaginary paddle controller as I start to play. Bombs begin dropping from the sky on the screen. Oh no, the mad bomber! I move my bucket back and forth, catching the bombs before they explode on the ground. My imaginary gameplay continues as I gain points and extra buckets, while more and more bombs descend faster and faster. Got it! Got it! I rise up levels until, yes, I win! I win! Somehow, fighting against an imaginary enemy calms me down. Take that, mad bomber! You can't kill me! All right, that was chapter 7. Now we're on chapter 8. Now it is Sunday, January 20th, 1991, and this is day 5. Saddam sounds triumphant. As we sit at the breakfast table, eating our bread with date jam, the radio blares out the news. Saddam's army has shot down and captured 2 American soldiers. They've been paraded around Baghdad and shown on American television. Saddam says they will be used as human shields. Today, Mama says as she turns off the radio, Shireen and I will clean the house, so you need to get out. Shireen groans while we cheer. Shireen is often spoiled, but she is also the only female besides Mama, so she's stuck helping Mama cook and clean. Ahmed races out of the house, with Shirzad and me jogging behind. Our day is spent exploring. Our neighborhood is basically intact, other places not so much. Luckily, we don't find any injured or dead people, but there's a lot of damage. No houses are completely bombed, but some are missing chunks of walls. Run! Ahmed shouts, so we all pick up the pace. We race, dodging obstacles like bricks and stones and rubble. We leap over pieces of metal that could be parts of bombs or cars or whatever. Jump, dodge, run. Around lunchtime, Shirzad yells, "Race you home!" and we all muster up every bit of energy we have in hopes of being the one to finish first. Lunch is rice. The regime has started rationing food. All Mama got from the store was coffee, lentils, cooking oil, and rice. I like rice, but as a part of a meal, not as a whole meal. Ugh. Thank goodness your father stocked up on wood, Mama says, although it is not going to last forever. The war won't last forever either, Ahmed observes and shrugs. He looks around the table for someone to agree with him. I don't want to think about how this war will play out. I mean, we're going to lose. But for how long will Saddam hold out? Maybe, hopefully, not too long. But probably he'll stay the stubborn leader he's always been and pretend everything is perfect, while we get bombed to death. You have to be patient in war. I learned that the last time when we fought against Iran. It's not only about battles and bombs. There's a lot of just waiting. Waiting in food lines, waiting for leaders to make decisions, and always waiting for the war to end. When the war with Iran ended, I was 8. I'd imagined the scenario so many times, and I always pictured a big celebration with food and music and people cheering. The reality was anticlimactic. The war ended and nobody had won. Our country and Iran agreed to a ceasefire. They announced it on TV. The war has ended. Mama went to wake up Baba, who was taking a nap between his hospital shift and leaving for work at his clinic. We all watched together as the camera showed Saddam making heroic decisions. Or that's what the broadcast said. Do you really think this is the end? Said Baba, shaking his head. This is not the end. This man does not want peace. Instead of holding a celebration in the streets, we were a nation of mourning. We had lost hundreds of thousands of our people. During the final 36 hours before the ceasefire, Saddam had sent waves and waves of soldiers into combat. So many died in a matter of hours. There seemed to be no street or alley left without a mourning sign, a black piece of cloth with the name of the deceased in yellow and white. Some homes had more than one loss. And on TV, they kept replaying our heroic leader, celebrating our successes. Even a kid like me knew that this was horribly wrong. Soon afterward, the massive reconstruction began. Over the next few months, foreigners, mostly from India, poured into our country to rebuild our roads and buildings with efficiency and expertise. And they worked what seemed like magic. Basra was more beautiful and more modern than ever. Until last April, when Saddam sent 100,000 troops into Kuwait, gouging black scars in the newly paved roads as armored tanks rolled through Basra en route to Kuwait City. Baba was right. Saddam did not want peace. And though the world gave him plenty of chances to back out or to leave Kuwait alone, Saddam did not budge. Leave it to our president to rebuild things only to have them ruined again. Our roads, our buildings, our spirits. The war won't last forever, my little brother repeats, right? Of course, my mother says. Nothing lasts forever. After lunch, I go to my room and nap like a baby. Between the bombing at night and running around all morning, I'm exhausted. While I sleep, I dream that I am the frog in the Frogger game. I'm hopping over animated bricks and stones and pieces of metal. Then the dream gets weird and I'm leaping over people's heads. Omars and Umars and Saddams and celebrities and grandparents. I wake up before I get splatted crossing the road of faces. All right. For my ICE group, that last chapter 8, that was new stuff for us. So we are completely caught up. And so make sure you check in every day because this is all new stuff that we haven't heard. Very, very sad. I'm feeling really bad for Ali and his family and just trying to put myself in their shoes, and it really makes me unsettled. So I hope you're continuing to enjoy this. Have a great day. Bye.